Hello, hello. How's it going? Hi, Gemini. Gemini, are you back? Hi, bud. I'm pretty sure I've taken Mantle Valley Sky's #1 fan. I think you have. I think you have, Ernest. Hello, Melissa. Oh, yay, there's people in here. I didn't know what to expect doing this. Yeah, there's people here. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Gemini's laughing. How's everybody doing today? Hello, Ernest. How's everybody today? I'm gonna have to compete for that title. Hello, Melissa. I'm so glad to see you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Hey, Cushy, how's it going? How are you doing today? Melissa says, hello, Ernest the Eskimo. Still alive and kicking. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I've been better. I've been having kind of a rough time. But yeah, this hopefully, I don't know, I just wanted to do something to see if we can help other people and create some kind of community. So thank you for being here, you guys. Just to hang out. Yeah, I guess it's a hangout in a way. I just noticed that, hey Brad, I just wanted to say thank you again for your song last Saturday. I can't wait to have support and get advice. Okay, awesome, Brad. I'm so glad to have you here. I think the idea behind doing this was to just, I noticed that there's a lot of people that come to like my music live stream, for example, and they ask for advice or support and things like that. And the moderators have done such a great job of creating such a wonderful community. So I wanted to create a space where maybe like it's a set thing that like I could, because I can't, when I'm doing music, like I can't really pay attention to everybody all the time, and I can't read all the comments, and it's something I'll try to acknowledge it as much as I can, but you know, I just wanted to create something specifically for that on this channel. So yeah, it's like open to anybody who has any questions. I remember somebody asked me like, how do you deal with debilitating anxiety? And I'm like, whoa, that's a good question. I think a lot of people deal with that, and I certainly deal with that. Do I deal with it 24/7? No. Like there's times where I'm totally cool and I'm able to, you know, play music and be in a really good place. But maybe like, you know, they figure like, oh, okay, well, this is a musician, they're performing music that would make a lot of people anxious, and like, you know, how do I deal with that? So maybe that's why they asked me that question. Um, Ernest says, I know I'm a mod, but is she talking about me also? Yes, I'm talking about you, Ernest. You're the only moderator in here. So absolutely. Thank you. Sorry, I should address you directly. Thank you so much, Ernest, for being here. Thank you for being a wonderful moderator and for being such an important part of the community for my music live stream, and also for coming to this channel as well and helping out over here too. So I really appreciate you. Is this live glitching for me? Oh no, is it glitching? I may not have the best service here. This is where I live. I may not have the best service. I have it connected to the Wi-Fi, but it's also connected to my my phone service. Hello, Dimitri. Bonjour de France. Dimitri from France. Hello. Bonjour. Hello, Mr. Caden. Hello, VezVR. Hey, Zeep. Good to see you, Zeep. Thanks for being here. Always good to see you. Always good to see you guys. Krishi, Gemini, Melissa. What was the reason you decided to move out of us? What does that mean? What does that mean to move out of us? No, Melissa. Reboot and clear all your apps. Okay, so I'm glad we're not actually glitching. Hey Kobe, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Thanks for coming on the stream. I will be streaming my music tonight later on today too. So yeah, if you wanted to join that one, you don't have to, feel free to join it later. Hello, Ultimate Sigma Rizzler. Okay, she's good. Right on, Melissa's good. Okay. Ernest says, thank you, Melissa. Love you too. You guys are so great. Allie, you're working a lot lately. I did rest. I had to rest yesterday. It was one of those days where I just I could barely move. Yesterday, I had to take one of those days where it's like I had to rest yesterday. I did go to my potluck. Dang, can't type. Oh no, yeah, I knew what you meant. Oh no, Cushy, you have the loading thing going on. Well, thanks for the emojis, Ultimate Sigma. Zeep says, hey Cushy, hello, you rested one day. You're working. It's fine for me now. Okay, good. Oh man, I'm so thirsty. I'm trying to get as much water. Zeep says hello. You know, maybe I should start this. I want to read my little prayer book. I'm going to open it up to today and see what's on there. And I'm going to read a little bit from that. Let's see. Today is March. It's March 11th. Sorry, I'm in May. I need to go back to March. Wrong month. Your body might need some electrolytes. Oh, I completely agree. I'm gonna get a little bit of salt actually. Now that you say that, I'm gonna get some salt and I'm gonna drink some water and I'll be right back. It'll take like a few seconds. My salt is my kitchen's right there. I live in kind of a studio, so everything's real close. Melissa says, I've never been on one of these streams just to hang out. It's new for me. Okay. Well, I guess some advice. Salt is a really cheap way to hydrate yourself. Not like table salt though. Don't get regular table salt. But what I'm using right now, it's called Redmond sea salt, and I think it has a lot of minerals in it. And Celtic salt is really good too. That has a lot of minerals too. So you can use Celtic salt or like a high quality sea salt, I believe. I think Celtic salt might have a little bit more minerals than most sea salts, but maybe it depends on the sea salt. But it's a really it's a cheap way to hydrate yourself because electrolytes are expensive. Like those LMNT ones, they're so expensive. I think liquid IV is a little bit more affordable, but yeah, salt, it's just a natural and healthy way and cheap way to stay hydrated. So I'm gonna take my own advice and do it more regularly. I was doing it when I felt really like I got kind of sick and I was feeling really dehydrated, and I was wondering if my dehydration was part of what caused me to get sick and completely lose my energy and everything. But so I was recommended friends were recommending me, like different friends too. It was kind of like ironic, or it was kind of like coincidental how like different people were telling me, or synchronistic, whatever you want to say, different people were telling me like, yeah, you got to use like salt in your water. Advice, we love advice. Yeah, I just wanted to read this. It's March 11th, I believe. So this is my prayer. Every day has a different prayer in it. 365 days of prayer for life. And March 11th, the title is Drawing Me Back. And it says, may the Lord of peace give himself, or sorry, let me start again. May the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times in every way. The Lord be with you all. And it's from 2 Thessalonians 3:16. You guys can see. I know it's backwards. I know it's backwards for you guys, but. And then it says, Jehovah, their place. You bring calm to every tumultuous situation. You release peace to the turbulent heart. Lord, today, as I live and work, may His presence be my portion. I know that you are with me, God of peace. Let not my heart be troubled. Let everything I think, say, and do be saturated in the love of God that quiets chaos. I know I'm about to cry. You are the giver of the rest my heart needs. I know that with you. I don't need to frantically figure everything out. You give solutions to the most complicated problems. Guys, I'm like gonna cry. I don't know why. I think I was already like feeling like I wanted to cry before I came here. So I'm like reading this and I feel like I want to cry. May I be the carrier of your peace into every place my feet go today. May I be a harbinger of your love that brings unity instead of division. Of your presence not only fill me, but may it tangibly change the atmosphere around me, bringing calm to even the tensest of situations. There is no one like you who gives order to complete chaos. What an honor to walk with you in the path of peace. And then there's a question at the end, at the one of those excerpts. And the question today says, what does the fruit of peace look like in your life? What does the fruit of peace look like in your life? That's actually a really good question. I didn't get notifications. I'm sorry. I think I might have scheduled it. I might have scheduled this last night, like really late last night. So it's kind of not too much notice. Strong words give strong emotion. Smile and know you're loved by God and all around you. Thank you, Ernest. I appreciate that. Yes, we just started. We just started the stream. Yeah, this is not my music stream. This is my other channel. And so I wanted to create like a peer support group and advice group, and but also just to hang out too. It doesn't always, if you don't have anything to ask or anything to give, that's fine too. Like you're welcome to just be here. But this question said, what does the fruit of peace look like in your life? And so I think that's what I wanted to think about. I like this. I like today's prayer, drawing me back. Like it's so easy to get lost in tumultuous situations. I know a lot of people, probably most people, struggle with anxiety and tension. I mean, we all have pain somewhere in our heart. Nobody's lived the most, nobody's lived a perfect life. We've all gone through really hard experiences. Melissa says that's a hard one. I gotta think now. Yeah, thanks for thinking. I'm thinking too. I love it where it says, I love where it says, I know that you are with me, God of peace, let not my heart be troubled. Let everything I think, say, and do be saturated in the love of God that quiets chaos. That's really powerful because, yeah, there's a lot of chaos going on in the world. There's a lot of chaos going on, like, in our minds, and life can be really hard. I've not slept or stopped crying since I last saw you. Gemini, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm crying too. I'm sorry that you haven't slept though. Like, why haven't you slept? Is it just because like the thoughts are continuing to circulate? Like, is it really hard to find, like, to let yourself rest and just let it go? Bad news. Oh, I'm sorry, Gemini. I'm sorry to hear that. Ernest says, mine looks like a 14-pound gray and white kitty. Thumper has been by my side through more dark times than anyone else in my life. I love that. Animals are the biggest blessing. And yeah, we don't deserve them, but we do. We do deserve them. But yeah, animals are something special. And they don't have the complexities of like human beings. So, you know, we don't really, like, we can't really get into like long fights with our animals. Like, I mean, we can get irritated and they can get irritated with us, but it blows over really fast because I think they're probably a lot better than humans at letting things go. Well, sometimes, depends on what kind of animal. I feel like certain cats can really hold grudges, but yeah, animals are great. I do agree that they're really good for bringing peace into your life. And that's what I got from the dog, Oz, that I put in one of the videos. I was dog sitting her for a little while. Also a pain in my backside, but I still love him. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's like, you know, animals are animals and we love them no matter what. Melissa says, Gemini, we are all here for you. Love you in and out. Gem, you'll get through it. I don't think so. Oh, Gem, oh, I'm so sorry you don't think you can get through what you're going through. It sounds like there's something, it sounds like something heavy's going on. I don't get 2 seconds alone. He's always following me. I need the, oh no, this is about your health. Gemini, I'm so sorry to hear that. Doctor thinks I'm in liver failure. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Gemini. I don't know too much about liver failure or like what there is to do about it. I know with like health things, I always want to feel like you can, that like, you know, like your diet or changing lifestyle and things like that can help, but oh, I'm so sorry, Gem. Well, let's all send a prayer to Gemini and send healing energy to Gemini. Yeah, now I understand why you haven't been able to sleep and why it's been so hard. So I'm really sorry to hear about your bad news. And I just hope that like something can turn it around in some way. I wonder if there's anything that can turn it around. I guess prayers. I'm so sorry, Jem. You're such a bright light, and I believe you can make it. I believe you can make it. But it doesn't sound like it's confirmed, so the doctor thinks that, but they're going to give you another test, and hopefully somehow a miracle comes through. But I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you, Gemini. Kobe says, I don't recall the last time I haven't felt at peace within myself. Many years, my youth was a different story. Oh, Kobe, that's really great. So that means that I take that to mean that you do feel a continuous sense of peace within yourself. And that's really good to hear that. That shows a lot of strength, because as human beings, it's so easy to get troubled by different, things in life. And some things are easier than others, and some things are harder than others. And it's okay sometimes, like, we go off balance. And I think the key is to try to get back on once we fell off. But I'm sorry to hear about your youth. I also had my youth was also more difficult than my adulthood. Just today. Oh, Gemini, I'm so sorry. They found a mass. Never followed up with. Well, that's certainly like a scary time, to be going through that. And I just want you to know that we're with you in this, and like we're praying for you. Melissa says, Jem, that's horrible. I'm so sorry. Jem says, I believe in the power of prayer. I do too. I believe in the power of prayer. Same here, my youth was something else. I'm sorry to hear that, Melissa. Brad is sending hugs. Thank you, Brad. Thank you for sending hugs. Do not apologize, Gemini. We love you so much, and we want you to get through this. And the power of, there is something to be said about the power of the mind. And if you do believe in prayer, I believe that it's, more likely to help you if you believe in it. It's, I don't know if you guys have heard of Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza, he was running, I think he was running like a marathon or doing some kind of run, and he got hit by a car, and it hit his spine, and the doctors told him he would never walk again. And I guess he wouldn't take that for an answer, and he began to start meditating, and he started meditating that his vertebrae were stacked like perfectly on top of each other, to heal himself. And you gotta listen to his story. His name is Joe Dispenza, I think Dispenza. And he healed himself, and he's able to walk. He's walking again, and he's able to, seems like he has pretty full access to his body at this point. So, prayers, that meditation of just visualizing yourself healthy, I believe that it can make a difference. And I think that, combined with whatever, like, physical, like, obviously if we need to get a procedure done, like, we can't meditate. There's some things, like, if we got to get something removed, or, that's important too. Or if we have to change, like, our lifestyle or diet, or, drink more water, or, like, things like that, I think are all really important. But the power of being able to use, like, your mind to heal your body, I do believe that there is a lot of merit to that. Let's see what you guys say. Aw. I'm gonna stay strong for Gemini. Hello, 4. Good to see you. Welcome in. But yeah, I really like, I like listening to his YouTubes, Joe Dispenza. This is not my music channel. I will be doing music. I plan to be doing music later today if the weather's good enough, and if it's raining, I'll come back here and do a stream over here. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on the weather, and I will be streaming music tonight. But this is my other channel. So when like yeah, it's a different channel. So my other channel is Ali Sky Music, and this one is just Ali Sky. So. Well, actually, I think I changed the name of Ali Sky Music to Ali Sky too. So they're both Ali Sky, but one of them is for music. And then this channel's a lot smaller right now. So yeah, we're just doing a hangout today. Oh man, let me drink some water. So yeah, I would maybe visualizing yourself being healthy, like your body healing itself and becoming healthier and healthier. And I do think that there is something to that. I do think that the mind is related to like the body. I think that they're both really connected, and that we can heal ourselves using our mind within reason. Within reason, of course. There's like, you know, within reason. Hey Alex, good to see you. Hey Krishy says prayers, Gemini. Thank you, hey Krishy. We had a zinc roof back home. You just fell and sleep that easy. Gemini is such a bright light. Yes, Gemini is a very bright light. I completely agree. God bless you too, Gemini. I like to listen to new stream idea, or have I missed the first one? No, this is the first one that this is the first one. I'm trying it out. And yeah, I'm trying it out because like the music channel, like I noticed that it became like, you know, it can be so supportive, and people would come and ask for advice and things like that. And I'm just like, well, why don't I make a whole thing of it? So we'll see. Ernest says, I was watching a podcast about this last night. Life seems to come full circle. Are you talking about using the mind to heal the body? Because yeah, I do believe in that. I do really believe in that. I truly think that meditation is super important. It's so important in the healing process, whether it's like physical or mental. Whether it's like physical or mental or anything, just like healing, even trauma, whether that's like psychological trauma, whether it's like physical trauma. I do really think that there is something to meditation, and allowing the body to relax and to heal itself. And yeah, I do believe that there's a lot of that once we allow, like once our body is allowed to heal, it will naturally heal. But the problem in today's society, I think the problem in today's society is that we are surrounded by poison. And what I mean by that, like, you know, the poison and the chemicals, like in the whatever, you know, sometimes in the atmosphere. I mean, nature is great. Nature is probably like one of the most healing things. So is go outside and be in nature, because like inhaling the air, like the fresh air, and like, you know, from all the trees, and it's clean air and everything. Like nature is like so important to be spending some time inhaling. And I did, someone told me, I gotta verify this though, but someone told me that just like spending time going, like walking in nature actually can heal, it can heal, like, I want to say, I don't know if I should say like cancer, but I feel like someone told me something about like it reduces your, I don't know, there's some correlations going on. I don't want to say anything that's like not true, But yeah, there's something to like, you know, like how the Japanese call it forest bathing. They just go walk in the forest and it's like you're just taking in the nature. And it must be harder though where it's cold because, you know, you gotta bundle up and the trees have, you know, the leaves have fallen off. So it must be a little bit harder, but maybe just being outdoors probably reduces risk, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that there's like, you know, just healing properties to just being outside. I do think that there's, you know, we're surrounded by certain levels of chemicals and especially like what we're breathing in. Like there's chemicals in our clothes, especially like what I'm wearing, like petroleum based clothes for exercise. It disrupts our endocrine system. The reason why I switched over, I used to wear all cotton because it's less processed, less chemicals in it. But I switched over to exercise clothes because I would exercise and get so sweaty that my clothes would start being drenched in like it was harder to it would ruin my clothes basically, like sweating so much. So I noticed that these materials are more resistant, but there's chemicals in, mostly there's chemicals in the food. Yeah, there's some chemicals in clothes and everything, so it's good to like watch for like, you know, not wearing cheap like clothes that are processed with petroleum, but a lot of chemicals in the food. That's like, I think that's where the most poison is entering our bodies, through food. A lot of pesticides nowadays. Our soil has been depleted a lot and we're not getting the full amount of nutrients in our, like in the vegetables as we used to, but it's still good to eat organic produce and stuff. Depends, Ali, you know me, love spending days in the woods in the winter. Right, right. I mean, yeah, there's probably still places to go outside during the winter and be in nature. I have asthma. Cultivating a natural life cycle. Once it's summer, I can't breathe. Oh my gosh, I need some mountain air. I live in a valley. Okay. Well, you live in a valley though, so you must have access to the mountain pretty good. Oh man, that must be hard if you can't breathe during the summer. I was diagnosed with lymphoma out of the blue. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is that recent, or have you been able to overcome it? There are forever chemicals in everything. Very true. But I do think that we can reduce the risk because we can control what we eat and what we buy from the store. So I do think that we can reduce the risk in what we're taking in. So I try to get like organic rice. Like the things that I buy, I try to choose the organic things because there's a lot of heavy metals. Yes, it is 15:30. It is, yes, 15:33 actually. 3:33 in Honolulu right now. Yeah, I can get up there in the mountains. Man, that must be hard though to not be able to breathe in your house. I hope you have an air purifier. Gemini, let us know any updates. There is still hope. Yes, there is. Like, there is definitely hope. How we choose to live. Yeah, so I know that, you know, it's a little bit more expensive to buy organic, but in the long run, I think it's worth it. The reason why I stay away from alcohol, because alcohol is a class 1 carcinogen, so I don't drink that. Let's see what else. Yeah, there's foods like the dirty dozen foods like berries and like kale and like peppers and stuff like that they recommend to especially buy organic because they have a lot more pesticides on them. Yeah, I think that that's good more for me. Oh no, Ernest. No. I don't consume any intoxicants either, keep it healthy. I was healthy, spent time in nature, cooked at home. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that for. Did you, let me see, let me read if you said anything about updates. What happened what happened? Like, are you still like recovering from it, or have you recovered from it? Is there a big alcohol and drugs problem in Hawaii? I would say that in most places there's an alcohol and drug problem. I don't know any places where there isn't an alcohol and drug problem. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people, you know, drink and do drugs here, certainly. But as far as I know, it's like, it's kind of everywhere. During the summer, I grow a garden. Oh, Bud, hey, Bud. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. I feel like growing your own food is like, if you can, it's like the best thing. But yeah, I have had, I've known people who've been able to cure their stage 4 cancer through eating like, you know, I know somebody who did it through just eating like a vegan diet. She was doing, I think she was doing raw vegan. You gotta be careful with raw, with everything raw, because that can be hard to digest for some people. Different people do differently with raw foods. Some people, it's like really hard to digest a lot of raw vegetables. We will not stop believing that you will get better, Jem. Oh, I love that, Alex. Yes, that is, I agree. It was in 2022. I had to have chemo, which left permanent damage. Oh, I'm so sorry for. Oh, man. That's crazy that, like, you ended up getting it, but, like, you were eating healthy and, like, living an active lifestyle. Those are always so hard, because it's like, you want to think that, like, you can control things, but sometimes it's just, like, we don't have control. But it says, I hate cancer. I've had it in my own family. Oh, I'm sorry, Bud. I'm sorry if you've lost people to cancer. That's really hard. Ernest says BRB. Okay, if you guys weren't here earlier, we were talking about, I read this excerpt from today's, like from today in my prayer book. This is for March 11th. That's today. And I read this whole thing already, but some things that it was saying, one of the things, my favorite thing, I'll say it again because some people came on, and okay. I think my favorite line in this whole thing might be, I know that you are with me, God of peace. Let not my heart be troubled. Let everything I think, say, and do be saturated in the love of God that quiets chaos. It's so, yeah, that's a really big one to me. And then I can go on and say, I know that with you, I don't need to frantically figure everything out. You give solutions to the most complicated problems. As human beings, I feel like it's very hard to just like rest the heart and the mind, and it's a hard one. But I feel like as a human being, it can be easy to also create more problems out of it. Let me see what you guys are writing here. Four says, I was only 37 at the time. I'm still in shock. I have no idea how it could have happened. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry for, man, that's like, that is scary. Were you able, like, was the chemo able to get rid of it so far? Like, was it able to go away with the chemo? Melissa says, my family history of addiction is very scary to me. Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa. Does it make you, like, be afraid for yourself that might happen to you one day? Alex says, my dad was tougher than a box of nails, But when he passed, he had a lot going on with him. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Alex. I know that you're pretty young too, so that must have been really hard to have your dad pass so young. Gemini says, God bless you 1,000 million times over. Oh, thank you, Gemini. God bless you too. God bless you too. Let's see. I just want to make sure I'm caught up with the chat. Kobe says, grace of God bestows discernment to those grace of God bestows that's a tongue twister. Grace of God bestows discernment to those devoted with a pure heart. I like that. I like that because I think I completely agree with that. Wait, let me see it again. To those devoted with a pure heart. No, I agree with that because I feel like the more clouded we are, the less likely it's that we're able to see clearly, like see other people clearly. And like when we work to find our own clarity, and it's hard work as a person to be able to heal and like to be able to develop a pure heart, because that doesn't just always come naturally. Most of us come with a lot of pain and things that we've gone through, and like we actually had to work really hard to purify our heart and our soul, and still working at it every day, all the time, when it comes up, when things come up. But I agree that it's easier to discern people when you're more pure, because then you're more clear. And then when you're cloudy, it's like it's really hard to really discern people and things and situations. Alex says it is. That's why Psalm 23 goes so hard. He maketh me to lay down in green pastures. It's good that God will sometimes make us rest. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Sometimes we're forced to rest, especially if we didn't let ourselves rest. And to remind myself that. Yeah, it's like we have to carve out our own life. Otherwise, it will be carved out for us, because we'll end up getting what we needed, but it may not be in the best way or in the most desirable way, I guess. Worst thing I had to deal with was a heart attack 20 years ago. Oh my goodness, Ernest. That's crazy you had a heart attack so young. I'm glad that that's over with though. Like with heart attacks, is it that like you get like if you can if you have one, you like, does that mean like if you just had one, does it mean that you'll have one again, or is it just like a one-off kind of thing? I knew somebody who had a heart attack when he was really young, and he was actually running. I think he was like running a marathon or running one of those really long runs during it. Forrest says, I'm in remission now. I also had a 5-month delay in my diagnosis. Oh wow, 5-month delay. By the time they figured out the tumor fractured my hip bone, oh my gosh, man, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is so rough. Alex says, I miss him sometimes, but it's not as bad as it could be. He was a good father, all things considered. Now he's mostly good memories. Aw. Well, I'm glad that you're positive, like that you have a naturally positive attitude about it. Did you read my last comment? Let me see if I read it or not. Bud said, my mom had breast cancer that came back in her bones. Oh my gosh. But thanks to God's work in medicine, she only has cancer left, a cancer spot in the left in one hip. She's going to be healed. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. That's a long journey. So she had like cancer in one area and then she beat that, but it came back in her bones. Man. Well, I'm glad that it's decreased now just to one hip. And I'm really glad that she's going to be healed. It increases your, okay, so Ernest says having a heart attack increases your chances of having another. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like an isolated thing or if it makes it more likely. So you got to be careful. Ernest says, Gemini, I'm thankful you are here. Love you. Forrest says, thank you, Gemini. You're so sweet. Love you too. Thank you, everybody, for showing all the love. Melissa says, I had a dream the other night that I was at the beach at sunset dancing lyrically. Oh, that's so beautiful. Are you a lyrical dancer? Sounds fake, but I think it's a sign I really want to go to beach ever since that dream. Melissa, yes. Is there any way that you can make your way to a beach? At some point, maybe like this year or next year or something. I've told you this before, Allie, but your music helps me. It heals me if I'm stressed out. I know I can always count on your stream. Thank you for saying that, bud. That makes me really happy to hear that. Melissa says, Ernest, we are here for you. Alex, also my dog is pretty nice. He's staring at me right now. Aw, that's so sweet. Yeah, I agree. It sounds like Melissa needs a vacation. I wish I need some beach air. Is it possible for you to get down to a beach somewhere? I'm grateful. Thank you all. Oh, we're grateful for you, Gemini. Thank you for your presence. Ernest says, my heart attack was brought on by supplements. And by coincidence, it happened while I was running. Okay, you're this. Yeah, I knew someone else who it happened when they were running. Because I guess it like speeds up your heart by supplements. Can you share what supplements that cause your heart attack? Yeah, because you were young, so it definitely wasn't like, doesn't sound like it was from like something natural. So I wonder what supplement that was. I have to be positive about it. It was humbling. That must have been really rough. Melissa says, Jem, we are more grateful for you. Yes, we are. Bud says, I'm thankful. I'm so grateful too. I feel like I used to have a gratitude journal that I would write everything that I'm grateful for, and I need to start that again. Because being in the emotion of gratitude allows for more room for positive things to show up. So I need to start that again. I stopped doing it, and yeah, I feel like I need to like do something for my soul. I don't know, my soul feels a little bit like suffocated. I don't know what it is, but I need to do like better. I need to get better with my spiritual hygiene, I guess. You know how like we have like physical hygiene and everything. There's like spiritual hygiene where it's like we have to continuously spend time like purifying like the heart and working through things, and more time like connecting to source, connecting to God. Ernest, you fear like never running. Oh no, Melissa, don't never run again. Please, no, don't let that stop you. Don't let fear stop you from doing something that's good for you. Aloha, Kobe. Enjoy your work and have a good have a good evening as well. I'm like 3 or 4 hours away. I just can't afford it. Oh, well, like if you're 3 or 4 hours away driving distance, is it just like the gas money, or like I think you could do it, Melissa. If you could save up some like gas money and some, just like take a weekend or whatever it is you have whenever you have off to like go drive to the beach, or is there like other transportation that might be cheaper? Oh, Gemini says, Melissa, if I beat this, we'll go to Hawaii, my treat. That is so sweet, Gemini. We're praying for you, Gemini. Hey, AAA, good to see you. So I'm just catching up with the comments. Glad you popped on here, AAA. Thank you so much again for your support. The past like few times, thank you for your generosity, and I really appreciate it. And thank you for being here. Alex says, coming home as a healing powerhouse. Aw, thank you for saying that, Alex. That makes me really happy. That makes me really, 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 really happy to know like that someone feels that way about my music. That's what I really wanted. We need these streams where we just chat and learn about each other. Yeah, I like it too. This is my first time I tried doing this, so I'll do it again. Maybe I'll do it like every week. Allie, where'd you get your book? I got it from Savers. I got it from the thrift store. But it's called 365 Days of Prayer. So you could find that. You could probably find it on the internet somewhere. You could probably find it used on Amazon for maybe a couple bucks plus shipping. I love the back of this. It says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Philippians 4:6. Okay, let me read it again. I have a hard time when I read out loud. It's like I have a hard time taking it in sometimes, so I have to like slow down. Don't worry about anything. Pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He's done. It makes it sound so simple, but as humans, I shouldn't say but. I should stop saying but. It sounds so simple, and as humans, we also like to complicate everything because everything's in the mind, and I feel like the mind, from experience, the mind is it's a destroyer. It can be, depending on how we use it. So I think it's got to readjust ourselves to be able to use it for good and for healing purposes, and being able to calm it too, because the mind can just easily, it's a monkey mind, so it can easily just go on and on and on. I forget it's nice to talk to people. It is nice to talk to people. It's important too, if you have like, it's important too to make time, like every Monday night I make time to go to a potluck, because I know that it's really easy for me to go about my day and go do my things and like work and everything and not remember to, it's easy to forget to, you know, connect people with, to hang out with people. I even like, I'm not the best at like organizing times to hang out with people and everything. So I do this potluck every Monday where I can get like positive human interactions. And I think that, you know, I think I need to do that to keep my spirit going. It was Hydroxycut. I was actually using less than the amount recommended of the bottle, but I was using it for a long time. Okay, well thanks for sharing, Ernest. I will never be using that, and I will tell other people if they use that to not use that. That's not good, that caused that for you, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I was kidding. I will run. I force myself to in the summer. I jog 2 miles every day. Oh, that's awesome, Melissa. AAA says, be like the flower that gives its fragrance even to the hand that crushes it. Be like the flower that gives its fragrance even to the hand that crushes it. Aw. I like that. Boundaries are still important, so you don't want to give to people that are hurting you and taking you for granted. And I like that. Be the flower that gives its fragrance even when the hand that crushes it. But yeah, I guess like I'm learning how to be more. There's a lot of things that like made me shut off early on in my life, and it's been really hard to even like trust people. So I don't really yeah, it's been hard for me to feel safe around people or like, you know, trust people because of the things that have happened, like the way that I grew up, and I've been trying to work to heal those things. So I do find that boundaries are important, otherwise it can get easy to be taken advantage of and like find the wrong people. But I've noticed that lately I've been finding much better people, and I haven't been finding like I went through so much of like, I guess you attract into your life what you're used to. So I would attract people into my life who were kind of a mirror of like the things that I went through when I was a kid. And so I had to like try to heal from those things to bring better things and situations into my life. So still work to be done around it. Alex says, so true, my pastor, if you call him that. I just watch his stuff on the internet, says we can't trust our thoughts. It's so true. Even our feelings sometimes, like I watch John Deloney, and our feelings can even lie to us too, like our thoughts and sometimes our feelings. Intuition's different though. Intuition is different than feelings. Gemini says, was that before or after you served? In other words, be kind to everyone. I love that. Yes, kindness is free. I think Gemini says that. Kindness is free because it is free. Like lavender, which happened after my first deployment. The army loves to run. It's hard to trust people. It is hard to trust people. Sometimes it's just easier to be alone. I'm gonna say hello too much. My mom broke her hip running in the army, and she now has screws in her hip and is disabled. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that, Melissa. She doesn't look disabled and doesn't act like it either. She is okay. Oh. Oh, thank you, Ernest. I appreciate that. I'm sure you'll find the perfect friend group. It will take a while, but the right people will show up. I know I'm here. Thank you, Ernest. And yeah, I do have a good group that I do potlucks with, and I do have friends that like, you know, I hang out with and I meet up with, and I do have support. So it's not that I don't have support. It's actually much better. Like what I meant to say was that it's better than what it used to be before. But yeah, I think in some ways it's still easy to feel like I can only depend on myself in ways, and I guess in ways that's true. Like, you know, there's other people that come and go and like may hurt you and disappoint you and everything, but it's true to know that you know, I think I remind myself that I can always stand on my own 2 feet, and that's kind of like a defense mechanism, I guess, or maybe it's just a survival thing, but it's true. Like everyone, you know, we all have like our independence and power, and you know, when we were a kid, we needed people to feed us, and we had to depend on what we had to work with, and we don't get to choose, like, you know, what kind of environment we grew up in. We don't get to choose that. So we had to adapt. We had to adapt to our environment, and sometimes that environment was scary. And so we learn, like, that like people are scary. You know, like that's what basically what that tells us, that people, when there's like hot and cold and it's just chaotic and never know what to expect, that teaches us that subconsciously, it teaches us that people are scary, that people can't be trusted, that people are weird. Like, you know, like it's just, oh, thank you, Bud. I appreciate that. But I'm here for you, Allie, for you to chat with me anytime you need someone to talk to. Thank you, Bud. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Being kind to everyone is my motto. I love that, Melissa. That's, yeah, kindness is free, and I do believe in being kind as well. I think one thing I really had to learn is how to set boundaries, though, because it can be easy, like, for kind people to get taken advantage of. So I think, for me at least, boundaries was a really big theme that I had to work on and to be able to learn. And I will say that it's much better than it was before. I appreciate you guys. You guys are so great. I always had to adapt to a new environment, says Melissa. That's really hard if you had a lot of new environments. I also had a lot of new environments too. Growing up, people can really suck. It can. And there's always really good people that can be found somewhere. Four says, I was bullied at my last job. I'm so sorry to hear that, Four. Man, that stinks. That must have been really scary too. I can't, like, being bullied at a job, that must have been scary. That's, at least I would have been scared if that was happening to me. Gemini says, give me their address, For. I love your sense of humor, Gemini. Man, when I focused the most on that, it made me worse. Wait. Oh, like, if you focused on how people can be not good sometimes, like, if you focus too much on that. You guys are the light of the world. Yes. I agree, Alex. I agree with, like, focusing on things, and when we focus on, like, everything that sucked, it can be easy to only see things that suck instead of seeing things that that there's a different way, that people can be a different way. And I think I try to handle that situation when I was just too scared of everybody, couldn't deal with people, so I went inward and I just developed a sense of self and try to heal myself from things, try to figure out, like, what I wanted, what I liked, like, who I am. And I think I hold on to that, maybe sometimes too much, but I hold on to that sense of, like other people, like, it's a false belief. It's a false belief, but I have the internal belief system that, you know, other people will always fail me, and all I have is myself to fall back on. And it's a false belief because that may not be true. There are people, like, you know, in my life that, you know, are more reliable, are more trustworthy, that I can talk to, that I can reach out to. And it's up to me to do that. And I have a hard time doing that, reaching out to people, because I was a little shell inside of myself when I was a kid, because the environment that I was in was really difficult. It was really difficult to handle, and I had to dissociate a lot. So trying to come back to my sense of self and tell myself that I'm okay. I'm okay. Let me read the comments. Ernest says, I understand that. I could be wrong. You seem like you're an introvert, but you open up once you find people who match and draw your energy. Yes, very true. Yes, definitely. I lean introvert, for sure. Yeah, no, that is true. Melissa says, I moved from San Diego to Northern California, to Hawaii, to Northern California, to North Carolina, to Northern California. It was because my dad was getting deployed, and then it was my mom. Oh man, yeah, that's a lot. So you got San Diego, Northern California, Hawaii, Northern California, North Carolina. So you've been in Northern California a lot, but you've just constantly had to move. So it sounds like when you were growing up, you didn't have a consistent environment in school and couldn't develop like a consistent like friend group and support system. I went through something similar to that too. I moved a lot as well. I moved once. Yeah, I had to move a lot too, and it was really hard. And home was very chaotic for me. So school was actually the most peaceful thing for me to go to, and it was the most reliable and trustworthy place that I could be. And it was scary for me to come home and be home. I did not enjoy that. But yeah, I had school, and even when I moved, school has always been a better place for me. There's more positive things than negative things to dwell on. Yes, but I agree. I agree. And I think when a lot of us come from like broken situations, it's really hard to see that. Like our whole mind is like clouded by the things that we've gone through because we don't know that there's a better way and a better life that is possible. There's that potential in life that sometimes it's really hard to see because things have clouded it. And so I do believe the power of the mind, coming back to the power of the mind with Joe Dispenza and his whole thing. I like listening to him. It's really cool. You might want to check it out. But create a future that you want. Create the future and then, kind of like instill that in yourself. So instead of focusing, if things are not good now, instead of focusing on how bad things are now or like what's going on now, try to spend most of your mind focusing on like visualizing yourself the way that you want to visualize yourself, like the way that you want your life to be. And I'm learning that too, and it's hard, and because sometimes it's easy to get stuck in like trauma and sadness and depression and anxiety and all these things, but sometimes like you gotta like literally snap and realize that like, okay, I'm a person, I have free will, and I can create my life. I can like I create my life. I do have free will. And yeah, there's certain things that, are harder to control or harder to do than others. And I do believe that, when you've gone through a lot of stuff, like when you've gone through a lot of trauma, it's a little bit harder sometimes to snap out of things and to draw in, new and better things. But it's 100% doable. 100%. She had to leave us for Texas. That's where she broke her hip because of the army. Oh, I'm so sorry, Melissa. I don't blame the army. Just meant just so you know. Aw. I struggle with thinking I don't have to try to do everything alone because I feel like I always did. I feel that way too. It's really hard to ask for help sometimes. I've gotten better with it, with asking, but it's still hard. It's still really hard, and it depends on like how I feel sometimes that day. Gemini says, "You are okay, Allie. Always and always." Thank you, Gemini. I appreciate that. Thank you. Melissa says, "I was always homeschooled, just my siblings as friends." Oh, I see. Okay. I'm glad you did you have a okay relationship with your siblings, or like did that make it easier or did it make it harder? I don't know. I didn't have any siblings. Then I'm junior high, I got to go to school. Oh, I see. Oh man, don't get me started on school. I was a straight A student for the longest time. Oh, good for you, Alex. You wouldn't think of me as an introvert, but I am. It is rare for me, but I have found 3 people in my life where we went from strangers to best friends, no awkward stage, having them change my life. Oh, yay! I'm glad to hear that, Ernest. Actually, no, I could see you being an introvert. Like, I could see that there's ways that you're extroverted, but I feel like there's a lot of people who are really good at like reaching out and really good at certain, you know, like interactions and stuff like that, who are also introverts. So I could see that too. Alex, that doesn't show who you are. Obviously, look how you turned out. Aw. Oh my gosh, Gemini. Just saw a comment, very difficult. I just lost my husband 6 months ago. My home burned down in 2022. Lost everything and everyone. Oh my gosh. Gemini. That is, it's like someone took the carpet and just like swept it out from under you. Man, I really feel for you, Gemini. It's a lot of really heavy stuff that you've had to carry. I'm so sorry. And 6 months ago, that's not long at all. That's not a very long time to have lost your husband, so you're still grieving. Like, that's yeah, I'm so sorry, Gemini. Man. Alex says, oh, Gem, it seems like the worst things happen to the best people. Gemini says, no adequate words for how grateful I am for you. Gemini, and you're still like such a positive, I would never would have guessed that you're going through so much. Because you radiate positivity. Excuse me, you radiate positivity. And that's a gift. That's a gift that you have, an ability that you have. Like I can't imagine being able to radiate that much positivity. Like I can't even conceive that, like if those things, if I'd gone through something like that so recently and no one ever would have known. Like, yeah, you're amazing. You're an amazing person and you have the biggest heart. Levi, going to the gym always make me feel better and healthy. Yes, Levi, I love that. I agree that exercise is like sometimes underrated. I'm about to exercise pretty soon. I'm gonna go to my beach workout, but I agree that like, yeah, if possible, exercise is like one of the best things in the world. It's like, you know, it moves things along, like it helps with your mental health, it helps with like physical health, like everything. It just like gets things moving. I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. And I think balance is good too. I can be that kind of person that like overdoes something. Like once I'm on some kind of train, I'll like maybe overdo it and then something will happen and then I'll be like, okay, I overdid it. Now I got sick and now I gotta like tune back and I gotta fine tune everything. But yeah, I think rest is important. I think I get into these things where like I'm in fear and then I like use something to like for example, like if like there was some trauma stuff that happened to me and like it like unloaded this can of worms like a couple years ago, and I would like constantly exercise, and that's not good either, like constantly, but like I feel like it's hard to like, yeah, you can OD on exercise, but it's not the worst thing to OD on, you know. But yeah, I would constantly be going hiking, going into the waterfall, and I was trying to just do things that were good for me. Melissa says, I love my 4 siblings and they kind of drove me crazy, but I love them. Okay, I'm glad that you do love them. That's a lot of siblings you got. That's 5, there's 5 of you. No, Allie, straight Fs. Oh, okay, I misread your thing. For some reason I read it as straight A's. Straight Fs. Oh, Alex, I'm so sorry. Man, well, you must have been going through something, or yeah, that. I guess it also depends on the grade too, because it's easier to fail. It's easier to fail like high school. You know, like if you're taking really hard classes, it's a lot easier to fail than it is to fail like middle school or like second grade. Levi, oh, I just binge eat. Aw. Levi says it really helps. It does. I do think that exercise really helps. Levi says, I have reckless lifestyle. Alex says that is not something the average person makes it through, Gem. You must have the strength of 1,000 men and the heart of a lion. Yes, I agree, Alex. Gemini, you don't have to apologize. Sharing it is a form of healing. Yes, it is. I completely agree. That's what we're here. That's what this is for. Grief is having so much love with nowhere to put it. Oh man, I never heard it said like that before. Is it too early to say the support group is a success? Aw, thank you, Alex. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you feel that way. Melissa says, Gem, your big heart. I'm the youngest of, oh yeah, that's right. Ernest has like a truckload of siblings. I'm the youngest of 10. My oldest brother is in his 60s. Right. So you got like this big age gap. It's like 20-year age gap. Melissa says, you couldn't believe that Alex had those grades because he's an amazing educated person. That's so true. That's so true. Alex says, oh, Jem, you have to get into poetry. You're amazing with words. Oh, that's a really great suggestion. My grandma had 21 kids. Oh, how does one person have 21 kids? I think we've talked about this before. You'd have to be like constantly like carrying a child, like constantly for like your childbearing years. That's so much. How did that poor woman, like, man, like it's like every year. Like, wow, that's pretty impressive though. That's pretty impressive. If that was like her choice, like, power to her. I'm moderately intelligent. Oh, you are very smart, Alex. You are very intelligent. I've seen it. Alex says, I used to be a writer, I mean it. Yeah, Gemini is right. You can have lousy teachers or, yeah. I feel like high school is, I don't know, high school can be a monster. And if you get, like, you can get the wrong teachers and I don't know, if you're going through like stuff too, like during that time, it's just, yeah, it can totally, it's hard. It's hard. That's 21 years of your life being pregnant. It's true, yeah. Not a lot to do out in the villages. You're like, why not just have lots of kids? Yeah, you know, I feel like your grades, like I don't care about grades. I feel like your grades have nothing to do with someone's intelligence. Like absolutely nothing to do with someone's intelligence. It might have something to do with whether or not you're able to cater to like what the teacher wants, but that doesn't correlate with intelligence. And the school systems, like, come on, like the school systems just suck. They just suck. Like, you know, like the education system is really horrible and it's not an accurate measure of intelligence because there's just, you know, not everyone is made to sit in a room for like 7 hours a day and like be glued to their desk and like, you know, like figuring out equations and writing and, you know, it's like it's strange. It's not normal. Like it's weird and I don't know, it's so hard to, I feel like being a child was actually a lot harder than being an adult. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but like being a kid and like being forced to go to school and like not having control over your situation, like all the things as a kid for me were so much harder than being an adult. So I don't know if other people feel this way, but I feel that way. It was not easy to be a kid. It was way harder. And like plus you're like you're developing your mind and you're trying to make sense of everything that's happening around you and like especially if you didn't have people to help you like deal with your life, like have to figure it out on your own, which I did for most of my life. Like it was so much harder to be a kid in my experience. Is that rain we hear? No, it's not. It might just be wind. It might just be wind that you hear. Melissa says, Alex, I always hated when that happened. If I was a teacher, then you would not do that. I would just be like, if you're done with your grades, that's fine. But if you want me to help fix it, I will. And I would encourage him to be better, not being mean, though, simply because you never know what people are going through. For it was being a kid sucked. Yeah, I feel like being an adult, like, things got easier. That's why the world needs more yous, Melissa. Aww. And I said I failed my 10th grade science class because I didn't turn in my project how music affects gaming score. Huh. But I keep the experiment going for 3 years, and when I turned it in, my science teacher was amazed. Oh, that's awesome. I got an A on it. Oh, yay. Yay. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the biggest geniuses out there were like high school dropouts, you know? Like school is not an effective measure of your ability to do good in the world, your ability to like your, you know, intelligence, your emotional intelligence, like everything. School is not really a good measure of that. It's a measure of what school is, the way that the school system is set up. It's a measure of like, you're kind of like treated like a machine. I mean, you're just expected to, you know, you have to listen, you have to learn this stuff that is not even applicable to like real life. And then you have to regurgitate it onto a piece of paper, and you have to sit still for hours and hours and hours, and like, I don't know, it just makes no sense. I wouldn't want to put somebody through that. This chat brings up my confidence. Oh yay, that's something I wanted. That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Heavy metal had the biggest effect on how me and my friends played. Worst was rap and hip hop. Oh really? So like, was heavy metal, what did it make it better how you played video games? And then rap and hip hop made it your performance go down? Yeah, I wasn't a good robot back then. Yeah, I mean, neither was I. Like, I became a better robot like in middle school and high school because it was like a survival. It was like tied to like my survival instincts. Like, okay, I need to do this to survive because I need to go, like, to be able to get, you know, a job and provide for myself, because I won't ever let anybody like have that control over me again. It was a survival mechanism for me to do better in school, but it was really hard, and I had to force myself to do things that were not natural to me. Melissa says to Alex, hey, I hated school even though I was a straight A student, I still vented it. Brad says, I have an annoying coworker. She is so difficult to be around. Okay, Brad is asking for advice. So difficult to be around. Got any advice? Okay, well, what is she doing that is annoying? Is she directing it at you, or is she just being annoying around you? Okay, I need a little bit more information about like what I would do. I'll tell you what I would do in your situation, but I need a little bit more information about that. Ernest says, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh, interesting. Okay, maybe that's why you like heavy metal. It makes your video game performance better. Or maybe it makes your overall performance better. Gemini says, once in college, I copied the back of an album in lieu of a thesis. I got an A. Huh. Teachers were just judging, not reading. Huh. Interesting. Oh no, my professors read. They read. But yeah, I guess it depends on the professor. Yeah, there's like anybody, there's good teachers and bad teachers out there. Or just, yeah, people that are better at doing their job than others. Alex, that seems to be the general sentiment. Mel, all the people I knew doing better than me on grades left me so perplexed. Yeah, and yeah, grades are not really necessarily the predictor of how you're gonna do in your life. The only situation that grades would be important is like if you really wanted to get into like medical school or law school, if you wanted to do something specific, but other than that, no one cares. Like once you leave school, like for the most part, I feel like it's mostly, employers are mostly judging you based on your past work experience rather than your actual grades. Like who actually sees your report card anymore? Like not really anybody. So it really doesn't matter. What's in college? Yeah, I read that one. They all said I hate school constantly. Yeah, I hope that didn't, Alex, I hope that didn't affect your confidence. I mean, maybe it did, and I'm sorry if it did. I'm trying to get a read on like how that affected you. And I just, because I have no like judgment over anything like that, because I feel like that's not even a thing to be worried about, but I don't know how you feel, like if it's like, if you feel bad about it or if you feel a certain way about it, but yeah, I feel that it's not, I have like zero, what is it? For me, it doesn't carry any weight. So if it did for you, like if it did for you that your performance wasn't as high as, you know, you would have wanted it, I would hope that you're just able to see that in the end. I'm gonna say song lyrics. I'm like singing the song in the end. It doesn't even matter. Sorry. Just like, sorry. Sorry for doing that. But it really doesn't matter. Like, yeah. Really the best thing is that, yeah, you're a good person. That's the only thing that matters, is that you're a good person. And I think as like any parent, like someone who's a genuine parent, like cares more about their kids turning out to be a good person than they do about grades. I mean, I would hope so. Depends on the parent, you know, but it did a little on its own, but my parents' and older brother's response to it affected me greatly. Oh, I'm so sorry, Alex. I said this thing about parents before I read your comment. Messing around despite how it made my grades. And that's okay. You were a kid. Like, bottom line, you were a kid. And you just did the best that you can. Like, just remember that. You were a kid. You just did your best. All right, here's Brad's reply to that. Says, well, just in general, she thinks she is all-knowing, and also she thinks she is so entitled. Also, she speaks very loud. My friends are extremely annoyed by her as well, and I tried to be, okay, her friend, but I just can't do it. She just has burdensome bridges. Okay, well, if she's a coworker, you don't have to be friends with a coworker. And maybe setting up like simple boundaries, like, let's see, if she's like, I don't know, I think it depends on like if she's coming up to you, and is she like coming up to you and asking things of you or saying things to you. I think it's important to set up just healthy boundaries, like yeah, sorry, it's hard to know too much about the situation. You can't really help that somebody speaks loud. You can't really help that someone seems to be entitled, but you can help it if they're directly affecting you. Like sometimes it's just annoying to be around certain people, and I definitely know that. But if the person's not like directing anything negative or bad towards you, you might just have to you might just have to focus on, yourself instead of focusing on, whatever she's doing. I don't know. I think it depends on the situation. My friends are, and there, with a lot of people like that, Brad, I feel like sometimes there's just like smile and nod, and like to avoid getting to arguments with people like that. With people like that, I don't really give my energy to. Like if somebody, if somebody seems to be like that kind of all-knowing type of thing, if they argue a lot or whatever it is that's going on, like it's okay to not give your energy to that and not engage people. For example, somebody came up to me last night and I was doing like a practice. I was like putting my feet down in this like salt and I was like trying to meditate and stuff, and he starts coming up to me and starts asking me all these questions, and he was a little strange, and to be quite honest, he reminded me of the Leviathan guy that came up to me and was like I don't know if he got out of a mental hospital or out of prison, but he reminded me of that type of energy, and it startled me and it's kind of scared me, but there's boundaries. So yeah, it was annoying that he came up to me and started asking me all these different questions and saying all this weird stuff, but I think setting boundaries was important. And so like, sometimes at work we have to coexist with people that are unpleasant, and the only thing we can do is if they do something to us to set that boundary, or like excuse ourselves from the conversation, or Melissa's like, no, not that guy. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, it's like we're always gonna have to, like, especially in a work environment, you might have to be around unpleasant people, but I think it's really about like if they're affecting you. Sorry guys, I think I'm just going in circles now, but that's like, I think boundaries boundaries is like my big thing to go on. And yeah, it's okay to not like people. It's okay to not be friends with people. Like, you don't have to be friends with everyone. You don't have to like everybody. And that's okay. You're not a bad person if you don't like somebody. It's not everyone's gonna like everybody, and that's just okay. Let's see, Melissa says, I knew this kid that was having to choose between his mom or his dad. Oh gosh, when they're getting, oh gosh, that's heavy. How much I just heavily ridiculed. Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. Being ridiculed is like the worst thing when you're a child. It's like such a big blow to your self-esteem. Yeah, children should never be ridiculed, no matter what. Children need to be understood, and children need empathy, and they need guidance, not the opposite of that. I was always told when I was trying when I was. Dang. Oh, Brad, you're welcome. I hope it helped. I know it wasn't super specific because I don't know, like I don't have specific information of what she's doing specifically to you, or if she's doing anything specifically to you. It would help to know that, so then I could tell you like, okay, what I would do in this situation. That doesn't mean it's, just because I would do something doesn't mean it's how you should do it. I think that I would just, maybe it would be helpful, but yeah, sorry. I just didn't know too much about like exactly what she was doing or saying, and so I don't know. But you got this, Brad. But yeah, it's really important, like the boundary thing, and just to know that you don't have to like everyone, and not everyone's gonna be pleasant. And as long as you can do your job without her, directly coming at you. I hope that helps in some way. I'm way too forward with how I deal with that, and since I'm in the Army, I use too many colorful words. I could, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, some people are more forward than others. And that's funny. I mean, I feel like if you're dealing with other army people, it's probably in the culture. It's probably like, you know, different cultures has like different like rules of what's appropriate and what's not. But yeah, it's probably an army thing. Hello, TWC. Alex, love-hate relationship with the world. That's where we can take some pointers from you, Ernie. The boundaries. Be straightforward and firm, but also tactful how you handle it. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah. And it depends on what the situation is. Like, if the situation is like, if someone's like directly affecting you, you do have to be straightforward. But if they're just being annoying somewhere else, but like, you know, it just depends on what's going on. It is what it is. Like Lao Tzu in that parable I heard once, but can never seem to find. I taste the tea and it isn't bitter most of the time. All right. Hey, TWC, welcome. I'm just a-hole sometimes. Alex says it's worth it, Ernest. Trust me, I've been too soft before. People will take advantage. That's true. It's like that, finding that balance between, just finding a balance between letting, you know, I will say that when you're learning to set boundaries with people, it's not going to be graceful at first. Whoa, okay, sorry, there's a lizard there's like a lizard that's like this big that just ran across the wall. It's like that long. It's a fat one. Or it's a gecko, not a lizard, but yeah, okay, I was saying about boundaries, like when you first start learning to set boundaries, it's not going to be graceful, and people will probably be offended. People will probably be offended because it takes some time to like learn how to stand up for yourself, and it may not come out as graceful as it will later evolve to be. It's a work in progress. Gemini says name him. Man, I have so many though. I'm gonna lose track. I don't know, like Eddie the lizard. I don't know. Bring us the lizard. You want me to go catch it and then like show you the lizard? I'm gonna traumatize the poor little thing. Alex says, I hope it persists, Gem. Aw. Gem says, Alex, you've always prevailed beautifully. Gem, you're so amazing with the way that you're able to give your heart while you're going through so much. It's a gift. Ernest says, shoot, Allie, Ed, and Eddie. I'll name them Ed. I'll name one Ed, and then Ed, and then Eddie. Eduardo. His name should be Eskimo. Aw. Alex says, I like Ed. You guys, I'm gonna get ready for my beach workout. It's simply my personality, Allie. But that's a gift. Your personality is a really big gift. Gemini gives us her heart. I hope she saves some for herself. Yes. Yes, someone said it. Someone said what I was trying to like put into words. So thank you, Melissa. That's what I want. That's what I was like feeling, but I like didn't know how to say it. But you said it so well. Gemini gives us all of her heart. I hope she saves some for herself. Yes. It's so important to prioritize yourself, because you don't want to just like, you know, drain yourself. Well, it's not draining though. I mean, I feel like being kind is, like Gemini says, being kind is free. But I know people that like are so generous with other people, but they don't do the same like compassion for themselves and the same kindness and love for themselves. So I like what Melissa said about that. Best personality that most of us come across, Jem. Yes. A workout stream. I'm not going to stream the beach workout. I need some time just to, like, you know, I just need some time to, like, just be. Because I'm streaming here, and I'm going to stream music tonight. Rain permitting, but weather permitting. But I will stream regardless because I will come back here and stream from home if it is raining tonight. So, feels like some rain, but we'll see. I'm bubbly till I'm not. I can be really scary sometimes. Aw. Melissa says, Ernest, you would never scare me. Aw. It's so sweet. Gemini says, I'm so beyond grateful. We're so grateful for you, Gemini. Gemini says 100% right back at you, Melissa. I got to talk to my friends again tonight. Oh, yay, Melissa. Oh, mahalo, Ali. Mahalo, Gemini. I feel like as a man, you gotta have that duality, Ernie. It's underappreciated to be capable of both. Ah, I see. I don't know much about being a man. Hey guys, I think I'm gonna, I gotta go to the bathroom first of all, but I'm gonna start getting ready for my beach workout because I gotta get to the beach soon. Beach workout is a rain or shine event, so it'll be happening regardless. So I'm gonna go get myself moving. I haven't actually worked out in a while and I've been feeling kind of down lately, so I really need to do this workout. Melissa, I unfortunately scared my mom. Aw, and she's not the kind of person to get scared. My brother got sleepy with my dad and no one gets sleepy with my parents. Oh man. Don't rain. Maybe I'm wrong, we'll see. Don't be down. I'm trying. Did this help you at all, Allie? Yes. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. A lot. I really hope that it helped you, and my goal was to help other people. So I hope this helped someone else too. Definitely helps. You know, talking to other people brings you out of your own spiral. So sharing with other people brings you out of your own spiral. So yeah, thank you for letting me share, and thank you for sharing with me too. So yeah, I'd like to do this. I would like to do this, like, I'm going to try to do it once a week, and yeah, I'm going to set myself to that. I want to do it once a week. Forrest says, I'm sorry for everyone who's struggling. I'm sorry too for everyone who's struggling. I just, health is such a hard one, and because everyone deserves to live in a healthy body, to to have a healthy life. So it really gets me, my heart goes out to anybody who has struggled with health. And it's like, you can't predict it. Sometimes it's genetic. Sometimes it's like, you don't know why things happen. But yeah, I like this. I read this earlier for those of you that were here. What does the fruit of peace look like in your life? What is this? So I'm going to try to answer that before I leave. What does the fruit of peace look like in your life? Oh, for Ernest, he said it was his cat. Man. What does the fruit of peace look like in my life? That makes me feel like I haven't found as much peace as I would think, but maybe it's just something I'm going through right now. But I guess peace is like, I don't know, I feel peace like before I go to bed and like, okay, I've done everything that I can do. Maybe I'm finding it in like my work. I think I'm finding it in my work actually. I was trying to find like a different answer, but right now I might be finding that in my work and just pushing through the hard situations. Just pushing through anything negative that people could be putting on me and just mostly taking in like the positive things and the strength, finding strength in that, I think. Just finding strength little by little. Yes, you're right, Ernest. I didn't even read your comment, but I said that. Yes. Oh, can you bring back the daily reading? Oh, did you really like them? Okay, I didn't know that people actually liked them. I think Gemini said she wanted me to do that one too. But yes, I will bring back the daily reading. Thank you for saying that. That is my sign to do that. And I will make a point to do that every day because that actually really helps me too. And let me read yesterday's. Can I read yesterday's real quick before I leave? I do have to leave, but I just want to, these things are so like, I haven't kept up with this, and that's just a sign of like what I've been going through. But it says, March 10th, yesterday was my help. I look up to the mountains and hills longing for God's help, but then I realize that our true help and protection come only from the Lord, our Creator who made the heavens and the earth. Psalm 2:21. Lord, when I feel defeated and I have nowhere to turn, I look to you. When there is no way out of the situation I'm in, I call your name. You always provide a way through. I will not be afraid of what may come. You are the mighty conqueror. Only you can confuse the enemy and turn a situation to benefit those who love and follow you. You always know exactly what is needed. I will not tremble. I trust in you, my God, my ever-present help in time of need. Creation bows to your intentions. The tides turn at your command. Shift the raging winds and calm the storms that surround your people. You are the only true reliable one, God of your word. You will not turn a deaf ear when I cry to you. Here you come with more than I could think to ask for. I love it. I am proud about something. What does it say? I am proud because I will get Google Earth on my phone later. Yay! Celebrate with you, TWC. Probably my dog and cat and Ellie's music. Oh, Melissa, that's so sweet. Oh, animals are the best. They are really the best. And they're so peaceful. Just watching them sleep is just like the most peaceful things. You do readings. Oh, I'm just reading this prayer book. It's not like a reading, but shall pray Allie's soul to fill with peace. Gemini, I want your soul to fill with peace. I want to send you prayers and healing. Can I send you prayers? If you want to send me peace, I'll send you like healing. Can I send you like physical healing? And like it's like we have something that like we need to trade, you know? You need to give me, or not trade, but like, you know, offer. Like you seem to have like the peace, and then I'll give you like the other piece. And like go find peace in the ocean. I'm gonna go to beach workout. My feet will be in the ocean when I'm doing the running part. The Bible is a hard read because it's not the same sentence structure we use today. Makes sense. Makes sense. Our Creator is wonderful. Yes, our Creator is wonderful. Hallelujah. I learned one thing from the Bible. Gemini says, absolutely, Allie. Gemini has like this open-heartedness that I don't have. Like, so it's wonderful. Hola, Felipe. I'm sorry. I am going to end the stream pretty soon to go to my beach workout, but I'm gonna do these like once a week. So look out for the next stream next week. Don't end. I gotta go pee. I gotta go to beach workout. I gotta get ready. Don't be late, Allie. I know Mark with a dictator will be upset. I'm always late though, and sometimes I just like being late just to rock the boat, you know. Melissa says, remember, Gemini, save some of your heart for yourself. Yes, amen. Yes. Gem has what I try and often fail to have. Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. For me too. All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. Prayers to all of you. I love you so much. I'm streaming on my True Rebel. Yes, she's a true rebel. I'm streaming on music today, whether it's outside or at home. So I'll be there later if you want to come. And if not, then have a great night. And enjoy the rest of your night, ruffling the feathers. But not as fun, but not as advised. Yes. See you in your next stream. See you, TWC. Thank you for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Love you too, Melissa. We will complete each other. Yes, I hope so. That'd be cool. Yes, I knew what you meant. I was able to pick that up. All right, guys. God bless you. Goodbye. Bye, Ernest. Bye, everybody. Take care. Sending you health, wellness, safety, peace, and everything. And I'm going to do my best to show up in the best way that I'm able to show up, regardless of, yeah, I'm going to try my best. And that's all I can do. Goodbye, Zeep. Good to see you again. You take care, and I'll see you soon, Zeep. Thanks for everyone's support, all you guys. Thank you. Hearts and peace. Hearts and peace. Bye, everybody. Zeep friend, bye. Goodbye.